Hi there and welcome to Tesla Electron. Keith speaking. We're just going out in my lovely wife's midlife crisis, the MX-5. This is my wife Dianne. Say hello, Dianne. World, Dianne.
Hello, Dianne.
Jeez, hello, Dianne. So we're buying our Model 3, picking it up next week. And so this is our only vehicle at the moment. It's the MX-5. It's a nice little car. It's a nice little, fun little brum, but you can't carry anything in it. That's the glitch that we're having.
It's not meant for carrying things.
It's not meant for carrying things.
It's meant for carrying us.
No, it's only meant for carrying us. That's true. But it will be nice though, won't it, to have a vehicle that we can actually put things in. We'll be able to go and pick up stuff from the shop, and you know, we almost, since lockdown, we've almost lived at Bunnings.
Essential items, of course.
Essential items, of course. We always wear our mask, you know. But yeah, it has been an interesting event, this particular lockdown. The first time around, we were inside most of the time. I don't think I almost went out of the house for like 8 months. It was something like that. But anyway, we're going to buy a Tesla. It won't have the engine noise, so hopefully our videoing will be quieter and the audio will be better. I'm hoping. That's the theory at least. We'll still run around in this little vehicle from time to time and go out for a little bit of fun. You know, I don't think ICE cars will disappear completely. They'll just they'll become more of a niche market. You know, you'll use them for different things, and so I think that's probably where it will go. My wife hasn't driven an electric car yet. I don't. Oh yes, you did. You drove the Kona, didn't you?
Did I?
You drove the Hyundai. I wasn't well. I was a sick little boy that day. So my wife drove that day. Do you remember the Kona?
Sort of.
We drove it. We're in Wyoming. We went for a drive. It's the SUV.
Oh yeah.
It was the SUV. The Kona's not bad. 400 k's, 450 k's on a charge. That's not bad for an SUV style vehicle. But it didn't have. Our issue, wasn't it, was the fact that we didn't think we'd get the resale value.
I already owned a Hyundai and I wasn't happy with it, and I never want one again.
Oh, okay. So that says it all, doesn't it?
It fell apart.
It fell apart. Yeah, it was cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it wasn't the cheap brand. It wasn't the cheap model either.
No.
It was an upmarket model, and yeah, the paint came off it. We had to repaint it before we sold it, things like that. We did that mostly because we don't like to give people rubbish, you know. Like, I wouldn't like it if somebody sold me something that was dodgy. So we got the motor fixed, we got a few other bits and pieces done, didn't we, before we sold it. But yeah, as Dianne said, she would not have one again. So the Kona was cross. So my wife's an artist. She sells her artwork on an online gallery called Bluethump, which is bluethump.com.au, and so you can go there and look her up on that Bluethump gallery and buy her artworks. They do international now, so if you're an international person watching from overseas, we're more than happy to ship that artwork to you overseas. Tell us a bit about your artwork, Di.
Yeah, so I really like to do native, probably Australian landscapes, mostly seascapes. I love the beach, so I love painting the beach. And then I do other sorts of abstracts like coloured shapes, and I love using lots of colour, and yeah, whatever I feel like at the time, I usually paint. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So in 2020, because of lockdown, Dianne sold quite a number of paintings.
I did. It was my best year yet.
Best year yet. This year hasn't been as good.
No, but I haven't had a lot of time either.
We haven't had a lot of time. No. So I'm really just the box maker. Dianne's the artwork. I make the boxes. So just send them off in. We make them manually, because you never know what size painting Dianne's going to do, and so
surprise.
You know, you've often got to buy boxes in bulk, so you've got to buy 50 of this size, 50 of that size to make it cost effective. And at the end of the day, it was cheaper just to buy the big sheets of cardboard and do it ourselves. The sheets cost us about, I don't know, was it $7 a sheet or $14 a sheet?
Yeah, round about.
Something like, somewhere between $7 and $14 a sheet. And they're 25 by 15 high, 100. I mean 2,500 by 1,500 high. So that's, you know, you can do a lot of this sort of thing yourself. But yeah, it's a good thing to have an extra side hustle. We've got a few different side hustles that we do as well as work, and so it's always good to try and generate some extra income. We were even talking this morning about the Tesla. You know, maybe after 2 or 3 years, and we've put a couple of Ks on it, we'll think about putting it on ev.com, and we'll rent it just to generate a little bit of extra income. By then the Model 2 should be out, and we should hopefully be able to get a cheaper EV by then. But the Model 3, after looking through all of them here in Australia, we don't have a lot to choose from. Many companies stopped selling them here because they just weren't buying them. We just weren't buying them. So the only kid on the block really is Tesla that's really doing anything of value. And of course their infrastructure. We went for a drive in the MG, didn't we? We went for a drive in the MG.
Yes, we did.
Tell us about our drive in the MG, Di.
Well, we nearly got killed in oncoming traffic. That was the start of the drive of the MG.
Oops.
Because instead of putting the brake on, you put the accelerator on.
Yeah, the car doesn't go vroom vroom when they're electric.
No.
So yeah, I put my foot on I had my foot sitting on the accelerator. I didn't realise I had it depressed, because I was thinking about the trying to get the vehicle to move.
So our life flashed before our eyes when we drove that car.
Yeah, that's right. Our life flashed before our eyes. That was fun.
But it was a good car to drive. It was a nice SUV. You were high up. It was comfortable. Yeah, I really liked it. But I'm just not sure about resale value, and there wasn't many charges, so that was going to be a challenge. Yeah,
here in Australia, one of our biggest issues at the moment is our charging infrastructure. Tesla's really got the only charging infrastructure that we're worth having. So yeah, there is some CCS charging around, but it's very few and far between. And where we live, they're all just Tesla. I think there's a couple of CCS chargers at the shopping centre up at Erina, and that's about it. So yeah, and I mean we've put in the Type 2 Generation 3 charger anyway, so we'll charge at home, and it'll be way cheaper with the solar on, way cheaper. So yeah, other than that, we haven't actually had a test drive even of a Model 3, have we?
No.
We went in the Model S. We went for a test drive in the Model S. So it's a bit. We've never bought a car like this before, where we've not sort of almost sight unseen. So when we go and pick it up, and I do my video for that, you're going to get a really raw view. If you know, I don't know, it's going to be a completely unique experience for me. Most of the people I see on YouTube have either owned an EV, they've had multiple types of EVs, and Tesla's just another type of EV for them. For me, I am converting from an ICE car to an EV. And yes, I want to lower my CO2 imprint on the planet and things like that. But it's going to be very new and very different. Anyway, talk to you again soon.